Hello, happy Wednesday, everyone. This is Melissa Brown here. This is day 3 of your emotional detox. And I know I'm running about 5 minutes behind, but hopefully that was enough time for everybody to kind of get themselves settled, get your notebook, get your journal, and get yourself ready for what is definitely going to be a very powerful session. It's Wednesday, and so I hope that you have been doing your work. How you doing, Crystal? I hope that Monday was all about release for you, and it is critical that you start with the release, that you start with the surrender, and I hope that you allowed yourself to really go there. Tuesday was all about the feelings, and I hope you let yourself feel as opposed to numbing out, as opposed to going unconscious. I got 2 Crystals. Hey, Crystal and Crystal. Hey, how y'all doing tonight? And so the feedback that I've been getting has been phenomenal. So I hope, again, ladies, that you guys are doing what you need to do to maximize everything that is being shared. And like I said, tonight is going to be off the hook, and I'm just excited and I'm ready to share. For those that are on the email, I hope you got the life work. And because it is going to be very eye-opening, it's going to be very revealing to you, because tonight what we are going to do is really explore, and this is really more of kind of that extra weight that we sometimes carry, and even though these emotional weights, but part of why we are carrying the extra and it is difficult for us to actually release is sometimes that extra is really your buffer. Sometimes the extra is really your buffer. And I'm just going to read to you what I put on the top of the life work, because I think it says it better than anything else. Sometimes extra weight is an undercover way of playing small. Hear that, ladies. Sometimes your extra weight is an undercover way of playing small and protecting yourself from judgment. Remember, I said that yesterday, that it's not the incident, it's not the whatever crisis that we fear. It is more about the judgment that we're in the crisis that we are trying to avoid. So extra weight is an undercover way of playing small and protecting yourself from judgment. But you are not really protecting anything. You are unconsciously hurting yourself. Extra weight is a sneaky way to self-sabotage and self-abandon. Woo! Extra weight is a sneaky backdoor kind of way to self-sabotage and self-abandon. It is insecurity's way of seating you at the back door of your life. Okay? Insecurity's way of putting you at the back door of your life. And I want you to just let that settle with you. And I want you tonight to really begin to think about what are the ways, the multiple ways that you have let yourself play small in life. What are the ways that you have hid yourself away because you didn't want anyone to think you were all that? What are the ways that you minimized your greatness because you didn't want anyone to judge you? So that's where we're going tonight. And by the time we get done, even though I know we only got like about 30 minutes or so, but by the time we get done, my prayer is that you will be free to be who you really have been called to be. And I heard this quote yesterday and I had to incorporate it in the teaching. It says, the real you will always make a demand on the who you have let yourself become. Woo! Girl, that is deep. The real you. Think about it. The real you, the woman on the inside of you, will always make a demand on the who you have let yourself become. And sisters, tonight, I want you to think about, who have you let yourself become? Sometimes we just kind of take a look in the mirror And we're like, who am I? How did this happen? Where did I go? Because we have allowed ourselves to get lost in the details of our lives. You have allowed yourself to get lost in the issues of life. And before you know it, you are so far away from who you really are that you don't even recognize yourself. And the disruption that you are experiencing in your life in this season, all of that restlessness, all of that, I don't know what it is, but I just don't have peace. That is the real you making a demand on the who you have let yourself become. Because the real you is demanding to emerge. The real you is demanding to be seen. And this is the season that you let yourself be seen. No more hiding. No more staying in the background, no more acting like an extra in the movie, but this is your time to be front and center and to be who you really are. And the same person who said that quote that I just quoted to you said, sometimes you have you have settled for a discount version of yourself. Hello? Woo! Like I said, that's some deep stuff, that you have let yourself settle for the discount when you really are a luxury brand. And I just want you to think about the way that you have let yourself be on the discount counter. You have discounted your greatness. You have discounted your skills. You have downplayed your value. You have discounted your worth when really you are a luxury brand. You are a one of a kind. You are priceless. You are a diamond. And anything that's luxury doesn't go on discount. It don't go on sale. You got to pay the full value. The full value. And so I want you to think about how, particularly if you are a woman who has let herself kind of put on that extra, or maybe you have let your emotions take over you. You have let yourself be in the space where you don't even recognize yourself, where you don't even know why you act the way you act, that everything you get into, you sabotage because you can't stand to let the real you come out. And every time you get on the verge of the real you coming out, on the real you being seen, on the fullness of who you are, you begin to slap it back down and say, get back in your place. And there is a woman on the inside of you that is saying to you, I will not sit down. I will not shut up and be quiet. I will not go and sit myself in the corner. I'm ready to be seen. Do you hear what I'm saying? So that's where we're going today. I already told you, today is going to be straight up fire. I hope you're uncomfortable. I hope I disrupt your sleep tonight. I hope that I disrupt you from your mediocrity and from your willingness to accept being average, because the real you is making a demand on the who you have let yourself become. And now is the time that you say, okay, let the real me come out. And again, the extra weight sometimes that we carry is just our backdoor way of hiding. It's your backdoor way of saying, I'm not ready yet. When you've been ready. You've been ready. So what is it that you are allowing? First of all, I want you to really explore, who have you let yourself become? Where have you said, I'm just going to let myself go? Because in a way, it's a very subtle way of giving up. It's a subtle way to say, you know what? Don't nothing work for me anyway. Because I already told you yesterday that feelings have to do with thoughts and beliefs. And so if your dominant thought and your dominant feeling is that life don't really work for me, that things don't always work out for me, then what ends up happening for you is that you keep yourself in this box where you experience the same thing all the time. And you are playing a role in that script, in that movie. Who have you let yourself become when you know who you were called to be? That's the question that you got to answer. And so today, like I said, I want you to move beyond the extra 10 pounds, the extra 20 pounds. I want you to move beyond the weight, the physical weight that you keep saying, oh, I got to get rid of this. Or once I get my body together, then I'm going to be more on the speaking circuit. Once I get this together, then I'm going to, I'll feel better about myself. Once I do this, then I'm going to put myself out there. That's not how it works. You got to be able to do the inner work on the inside, because again, the outer is just an expression of what you've decided on the inside. Your outer manifestation is just the expression of what you have decided about yourself on the inside. And for many of us, we have decided, I don't know if I'm really worth it. I don't know if I'm really ready. So your extra is not really about your lack of discipline. That's the lie you've been telling yourself. And like I said, you ain't lacking discipline. Everybody that's on here has enormous discipline. Everybody that's tuned in has anything you want to do, you do. And most of the time we do it for other people. You go through hell and high water for other people. You make whatever needs to happen, happen. You find money. You create money. You can make something out of nothing when you really want to do it. So this is not about your lack of discipline. This is not about your lack of skills. This is not about that. It's not so the messaging that you've been telling yourself is that you can't do it, when that's just not true. You can do it, and you have done anything you've wanted to do. The reality is that you're hiding. That's what it's really about. And so on the life work that I sent out, one of the first things that I ask people to do, whether I'm working with them privately or even as couples, what is the vision of a more powerful you? What is your actual vision? Because again, if you don't have a vision of the more powerful you, you will just play out yesterday's you. You got to have something to work towards. And so I want you to take some time as you do your life work for day 3. I want you to take some time. I want you to take the limits off, and I want the real you, not the you you've let yourself become, but the real you to write the description of who you really are. How does that woman think? How does that woman look? How does that woman interact? Who are that woman's friends? What are your conversations when you are at the apex, when you are at the place where you really want to be? And then this is where it gets tricky. If you really want to know why you're not doing what you need to do, anytime we are not doing what we need to do, and like I said, it becomes a form of self-sabotage and hiding, but there's self-sabotage and hiding, at the base of it is fear. And most of the time, what we fear is we fear that we will lose. We fear that we will lose love. That's, for a woman, that is the ultimate. That is for almost, I would say 90% of women, the thing they crave most is love. And we will do any and everything. What you won't do, you'll do for love. You know the song. So we will do anything to get love. So what happens when the you that is inside of you makes a demand on the you that you've become, and the people you love don't like it? Woo! Can I say something? I hear you, Felicia. What happens when the you, the real you inside of you, makes a demand on the you have let yourself become, and the people you love don't like it? Then you got a crisis. What am I going to choose? Am I going to choose myself, and am I going to choose my greatness, or am I going to choose love? And for many of us, we have chose a version of love as opposed to choosing ourselves. And I want to submit to you tonight that you can have both. That healthy love lets yourself be you. Healthy love does not suppress. Healthy love does not minimize. Healthy love does not put you in a box. Healthy love does not create a caged bird and tell you to sing in the cage. The bird must be free. So, but where I want you to explore, part of why you've been self-sabotaging, part of why you have just been minimizing and you have been hiding is because who and what would be removed? This is question number 2 on the life work. Who and what would be removed from your life, at least in your mind, if you were the person you imagine yourself to be? Who wouldn't be in your circle anymore? And keep in mind, some of us are more tied to a dysfunctional past, to dysfunctional habits, to dysfunctional people than a prosperous, abundant future. Because I know this over here. I've been with these people for 10 years or 15 years. And yes, they get on my nerves. And yes, they make me feel bad about myself. And I have to minimize myself. I have to lower myself to be a part of this clique, to be a part of this group, versus I don't know who I'm going to have if I elevate and move over here. So have you chose a distorted version of love versed off of choosing your higher and greater self? What have you chosen for you? So I want you to do that work. I want you to do that intimate work where you recognize, what are you really even holding on to? And what I want you to recognize, or to really ask yourself, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Is the price that you are paying on the physical, emotional, and spiritual level, is it worth it? Because for some of us, we would rather accept the crumbs. We would rather accept crumbs than to take a risk and come over here and have the whole basket. God has a whole basket, a whole bakery for you, and you are over here accepting the crumbs because you don't know what's over here. But I'm telling you, the level of disruption that you are experiencing in your life, the level of emotional disruption, is because the you on the inside of you is like, we're not playing this game no more. And the you, the real you, is making a demand on the you have settled for, the discount version of you, the one that's sitting up on the shelf, the one who's in the back, talking about don't start none, won't be none, because, I don't want to rock the boat and I don't want to make anybody mad with me. Time is up. Time is up. This is the year you must become who you have always been. The woman that is making that demand on you is saying, I will not sit quietly anymore. I'm ready to be seen. So that is a major piece. So if you are a person where you have been exercising, you have been trying every little diet you can think of, and for whatever reason, there is a level of weight that still won't come off your body, I want you to check and investigate, are you really afraid to be seen? Because this is where you do your inner work. What happened the last time you stood out? Did people talk about you? Did you get kicked out the group? Did people tell you, oh, she must think she all that. Look at her. She must think she's better than everybody else. What happened the last time you came above the crop? What happened the last time you stood out above the crowd? What happened the last time you opened your mouth and put yourself on the platform and you were the real you? And for many of us, we couldn't handle the level of rejection because everybody can't handle the real you. Can I just say that? Sometimes your brightness, sometimes your watts, your bulb watt, your greatness, your shine is too much for some people, especially if they're still in darkness. If they are still in the space where they want to lay low, they want to be at a low level, they can't handle your brightness. And they're going to pull you down anytime they can. They're going to pull you down anytime they can. And again, you got some hard choices to make. You got to recognize, like, okay, what's going to be more important? Knowing what it feels like when I am fully expressed Am I going to be a fully expressed woman, which means am I going to be a free woman, or am I going to be over here in the low-lying weeds, being what people want me to be, being a discounted version of yourself when you are a luxury brand? What you going to be? You know, I like to say it like this as well. You know, some of you are acting like paper plates when you find china. And the way you treat a paper plate is not the way you treat fine china. And you have allowed any and everybody to handle you any kind of way, letting people put on you whatever they want to put on you, letting people toss you around, treat you like a frisbee, use you however they want to use you, when that is not the way you were meant to be used. You are God's creation. You are God's vessel. And so you're not a paper plate. You're a fine china. And if you don't recognize it, other people won't either. Other people won't recognize your value until you do. So for those of us that are waiting, still in this fairy tale mode, that you are waiting to be discovered, like, I don't even know what that is anymore, but I've been there, so no judgment on it, where you're sitting quietly and I'm just going to be a good person and people are going to recognize that I'm a good person and I have a good heart, and somebody's just going to come around and knock on my door and they're going to expose me, and all of a sudden I'm going to have the life that I dream of. That is really a fairy tale. The life that you dream of will not happen until you decide that it is happening. The life that you desire and the life that you want doesn't happen until you make it what you want it to be. Until you allow the woman inside of you to emerge, which means you got to stop hiding, which means you might have to piss people off, which means you might have to lose some friends, which means you might have to handle people being jealous of you, that people are going to hate on you. But what have I told you in the past? That let your haters hate. That is the way you are built. That is the way you are built. Anybody that is hating on your success and hating on your greatness don't belong in your life anyway. I mean, what are they there for other than to feed off of you? And there are many people that will not be able to go to your next level. You will not be able to take everybody you've been dragging. And I use that word purposely. You've been dragging, that you've been carrying the relationship. You've been carrying the friendship. You're the one who makes all the phone calls. You're the first person to apologize. You're the person to handle people's birthday and to do things for them. But what is happening for you? It's no reciprocity. People are feeding off of you. Like I said, treating you like you a paper plate when you're fine china. And so it's up to you to change it. It is up to you to change it. So explore the real deeper feeling behind hiding yourself, hiding your greatness, hiding behind your excuse, and really using your weight. And it doesn't have to be a lot of weight, because for many of us, we have these unrealistic expectations around, well, when I'm a size 6, then... And you know good and well that your body structure, your hips, you will never be a size 6. If you're a size 6, it's not going to look right on you. And again, the inner you, the woman inside of you, is making a demand to be seen. Can you handle being seen? Because the other piece of it, and I talked a little bit about this on Monday, is when you are seen in all of your greatness, that's when you are blessed. And for some of us, the question is, can you handle actually being blessed? Are you ready to be blessed? Or are you still stuck in struggle? Are you still stuck in the suffering? Are you still stuck in the space where nothing works out for you? And that's the place that you are most comfortable, because you know how to be sad. You know how to be depressed. You know how to be lonely. But can you handle it when everything is going well? Just think about the ways that you have sabotaged the goodness. It's almost like for some of us, we can't stand it. We can't stand it. Things will be breaking in our lives. Doors will be opening, and we will go and create something to bring us back down to that lower level. And really what's going on is we can't stand all that attention. We can't stand all of that good attention. We have learned, we have been conditioned as women to stay out of people's way. That's just the way I was raised. That, you know, as a young girl, you stayed out when grown people were talking. You were quiet. You didn't make a lot of noise. You didn't want to be disruptive. You didn't ever get angry. Any of those things to kind of just keep yourself at bay and almost be invisible. Be vanilla, have no flavor. You know, don't be too sassy. Don't be too much of this. Always too much of this. And we have watered ourselves down to such a level. Like I said, you don't even know who you are anymore. But there is a woman in you who is still connected to you, that the woman that you have meant to be. So you want to know why you have seasons and why there are certain times in your life where you feel so creative and you feel so passionate and you feel like you're in the zone and you can do anything. That's the real you that desires to come out. And many of us, we have settled for the miniaturized you. You have settled for that small little version of you because you think the world can't handle a big version of you. Can I give you an announcement? We need the big version of you. We need you in your full expression to let yourself be seen. We are actually waiting for you to be who God made you to be. Part of why we are in the space that we are in as a world, as a society, is because everybody's trying to be like somebody other than who they are. And God made you uniquely who you are, made your voice who you are. And everybody is waiting. They don't even know what they're waiting for, but they're waiting for the authentic. They're waiting for you to bring yourself forward. So when you keep yourself in the back, you deprive us from the blessing. And so I know that you are ready to be fully expressed. You are ready to be fully exposed. I want you to do your life work on today. I want you to really go there with yourself. I want you to look at the ways that you have been playing small, the ways that you keep your little self in the back, the way people give you opportunities and you say no just because you have decided that you're too afraid to do it. Well, the real you isn't afraid to do it. Think about your dreams. Think about all the things that you imagine for yourself, the stuff that you're not even telling anybody else, the dreams of you being a best-selling author, the dreams of you being a speaker on stage, the dreams of you being a designer and being on HGTV, of being a top chef. Whatever your dream is, you desire to be in the limelight. So let's stop playing like we don't want to be seen. God is ready to shine the light on you, but he's not going to do it without your permission and without your consent. So will you consent to your own greatness? That is the question that you have to answer. Are you ready? Are you ready to be blessed? Are you ready to be larger than life? Are you ready to let yourself be fully seen? So y'all talk back to me. Let me know. Are you ready for that? Are you ready to stop hiding? Yes. Give me some hearts. Give me some yes. I know y'all are tracking with me. I'm going to try, for those that may not be on that email list, I'm going to put this life work up as a file on this page so that you can access it, because I really want you to do your work. I want you to do your work. Like I said, we need more of you. We don't need less of you. I don't know who told you that. I don't know who told you you're too much. I don't know who's been telling you you need to tone it down. You know, your personality, you just too much. No, we need you. We need you. You're not too much. You're just too much for them. Okay? So do what you got to do, ladies. Bring that woman out, the woman inside of you who is making a demand on the woman you let yourself become. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Much love to you, and I'll talk to you soon.